how can we compare our physical, psychological, and spiritual aspect? So physical is like it's because humans are always copy pasting everything from the nature. They didn't invent something new. So computer is very similar to us. So the hardware is like physical body. It has its functions. Psychological is more connected with our mind, intellect, and emotions. So it can have different functions and different. It's more subtle. But then this computer, in order to have an experience and to be able to run it, you need to have a user. And user is representing the spiritual aspect. So what is that spiritual aspect? How do we call it? We can call it different ways in different traditions, isn't it? So I think one common, very similar name is soul. Like somebody who is, it's called antimatter. It's opposite of the matter. So it's something that, like it's not directly connected with the matter. And why I'm speaking about this now? Because if we don't address our life fully, holistically, we may miss something. Do you notice that in modern society that with a lot of technological development and a lot of different aspects that we have developed, that maybe we missed something or have done something wrong, like what produced different problems, like we have now climate change. Was it because we were doing things properly? Don't think so. How do social networks and computers affect new generations? I heard that today's concentration of young people, and even me now, because I'm a lot of time on the computer and everything, it's going less and less. So it's affecting us because we haven't took holistic approach in life. And if what to say if we dedicate all our life on something, and then we find out that it was not good, that it was wrong? Can you imagine yourself that you put, like, I will be now extreme, so please don't mind that, just for a little bit fun, that you put like this primitive guy with, like this, how do you say it in English? Chunk of trunk or something like that, and he comes in a sophisticated nuclear office of power plant, and he goes there and ho 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 and starts beating around and makes a whole mess, and like the whole plant can explode because he doesn't know what he's doing. Can you imagine that maybe in this world sometimes we are behaving like that? In the past, we lived in many different paradigms. Like when we see Hitler was very convinced, and he really believed that Jews need to be killed. And people believed him. People really believed him, and he has done awful things. Before that, in Middle Age, they were believing that, if you, that the disease is in the blood. So if you are sick, like when you put the blood out, you will be healthy. So they were comparing how good they are in medicine, how much blood they could let out. So can you imagine competition? Like I can let out blood 10 liters a minute. I can do it 20 liters, I'm better doctor or something like that. It was paradigm. And there is many paradigms today also. Can you imagine some paradigms today that people are really convinced in that are maybe wrong?
We need to eat meat.
Very interesting paradigm. It can be compared to Hitler. He put one sort of people to be killed and others are very good. We love our pet dog. Actually, I'm a vegetarian. I need to confess, like this, how they say this forum of confessing, but I'm not being very, how they say, intrusive, trying to indoctrinate others with that. But I had a small pet, and my friend told me, Philip, why are you duplicitous? You love your pet and you eat other animals. And believe me, if somebody would do something to my pet because I really loved him and he loved me, I would kill that person. I would hurt that person. But others, animals, no problem. What, I just buy a piece of meat and I eat it. I never thought about it. So this is one paradigm. Some other paradigms.
Materialism, that we need more and more and more to be happy.
More things. You know that saying, today we love things and use people to get them instead of loving people and using things. Big paradigm that's making people tremendously unhappy because we think that by things we can be happy. We cannot. It's proven scientifically that wealth and things can bring us to a certain level of happiness when we satisfy our basic needs, and it can affect a little bit afterwards, but more important parts are other, like relationships and so many other things in our life that cannot be bought by money. Interestingly enough, sometimes it's said that how wealthy you are can be determined how many things you have that money cannot buy. Okay. Some other paradigm. So this is why this program is here. This is why I'm so enthusiastic about this program, because I really want to dive deeper. Honestly, last 15 years of my life, I'm really investigating, searching through different traditions and seeking for the answers. That's why I went to be a monk for 5 years and dedicated fully to myself and try to understand different things. And still now I'm trying to read a lot because I really see that this is really very, very important part. And I'm not addressing this in Joyful Leadership, in some of other workshops, because some people feel like, how would you say that in English? Attacked, or like they don't want to think about it. They feel that the floor is shaking under their feet because they are very strongly holding to like money will make me happy, or like eating meat, I cannot imagine my life without it, or some other paradigms. That's why I decided to start another program like this so that we can test that and that we can dive deeper and try to understand the purpose of our life. So this is really, really important. And that's why I'm now speaking about that, why spirituality is important and why is it there. Because I will just mention it shortly. This spirit that we are speaking about, the soul or whatever, why is it important that we connect with that? Because emotionally, mentally, and we can have a lot of baggage from our childhood, from even our past lives, but we are going to speak that about some other time. And if we identify ourselves with that, we will be easily sad or triggered or acting in different ways how others behave towards us. So we are going to give our key of happiness to others' hands. But if we understand that that subconscious part is not us, that we don't identify ourselves with that, then it will be much easier to distance ourselves from that and to transform that also, to change that part. It really changes the thing.